am so excited about this video. I've never done anything like this. I'm gonna put, let me think. I don't know if this is a good idea, okay? I just don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm gonna do it. So I'm going to rank 10 different foundations for you guys. I'm gonna actually put them on too. Now, when you put foundation on, like right now, I'll show you the one that I have on. I have my bronzer on, I have the highlight, all of that good stuff. It makes it look better. So some of, you know, when you try them on, they might look a little flat, but just use your imagination. I just didn't want to throw out a bunch of these and rank my top 10 foundations, or just rank them and say, if you have dry skin, use this. If you have oily skin, use this. It has this kind of finish, XYZ, whatever. We're still gonna do that, but I thought I kinda wanna put it on. So, I got some makeup wipes. I hope I have a face after this, but I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use a mix of like some different things, and I can kind of, it's good with a beauty blender, you can kind of rinse it in between each thing. So I'm gonna go through, I wanna say in no particular order, although I am going to rank them as I go. Maybe at the end I'll do like a top 10 list, but I do want to start with this one since it's what I'm wearing. In my last video, you guys saw me apply this. It's the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation infused with juicy watermelon and fresh cucumber. It says it's long wearing, dewy finish, hydrating, brightening. This freaked me the heck out when I first got it, because usually something that's hydrating, that's dewy. This one, especially when I swatched it, I thought, that might be a little thick. It's beautiful, you guys. It sets, it feels comfortable. At the end of the day, your skin looks beautiful. This is what I've been using every single day, and I love it. So I use the shade Almond, and for reference, I'll tell you guys what shade I am in all of these too, which I think will be really helpful. So I have more combination to oily skin. I used to have very oily skin. In my T-zone, like there's nothing I could do, but if I have a good skincare regimen, it makes all the difference. If I'm using a good moisturizer, it makes all the difference. My skin doesn't freak out and go nuts. If I use something that's a little more drying, that my skin isn't used to, or I use a very like matted out foundation, or I use something that's very powdery, my skin will start producing more oil. It just is what it is. So I feel like, you know, I like my skin to be comfortable. I like it to look like skin. I like it to be kind of like glowy and pretty. So that's what I look for in a foundation. So if I am gonna apply, you know, a setting powder, I'll just kind of take a brush and just be like, you know what I mean? Maybe just a little there to balance it out. But I'm not a huge fan of piling on the setting powder. I think you can find foundation formulas that work for you, that you'll find that you have to use less. So when I say I don't totally set my foundation, I don't, but I think that it's good to do that. And I don't consider that like heavily setting my face, because you want the pretty features of the foundation that you chose the foundation based upon to show through, right? You don't want to cover it up with powder. Do you get that? Did that make sense? Okay. So Too Faced Do You, that's what I'm wearing today. Yeah, we'll run through the rest of them fairly quickly, but I'm kind of focusing on this right now because I wanted to really like tell you guys about my skin so that you understood what mine is, and so you can kind of like get a better idea of why I like things, why I don't, whatever. Now this one's gonna look better than all of them because I've got all this stuff on with them. Oh my gosh, am I gonna go through and like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna like contour the hell out of my skin. Okay, so let me show my other glowy ones, and then we'll get into like the matte ones and the different ones, and at the end I'll rank them. Okay, so the next one that I would use that is a little glowy, and this is probably, oh my gosh, one of my favorite ones. I need to try this again. I need to get into this again. It's the Chantecaille Future Skin Alabaster Oil-Free Gel Foundation. If you are very oily, this is the one you'd want to use if you want something that's a bit more like, you know, glowy. Okay, look, don't judge me. I'm just gonna wipe this off. This is not gonna be perfect. Gosh, should I even just like, oh my gosh, these wipes feel really good. I grabbed these at the drugstore the other day. Okay, I'm gonna be so red, just warning, FYI, maybe this isn't a great idea. Am I gonna take my forehead off every time I take my forehead off? No, you guys can get the idea, okay? We're just gonna do it. These are the simple cleansing wipes. Removes waterproof mascara. So the Chantecaille, so I use the Alabaster shade, okay? I'm not applying these perfectly like I would. I'm just doing this so that you guys get the idea, okay? Like I'm not trying. Now this feels like, this is like a watery gel. You can apply it with your fingertips. I like to dip into it with a clean hand. I don't like to dip like a brush or a dirty sponge into it, but you can kind of see what this does. And then, you know, I kind of started rubbing it in, but ideally what I like to do is use a beauty blender with this. This melts right into your skin. Like sometimes when you get to this point, like it might look like it's like the pigment in the foundation's catching a little bit, or it looks like it's hard to blend. This blends right in. I mean, it's gorgeous. And I think it's helpful for me too to use it as I talk about it, because it kind of reminds me of things to like mention. I just dipped my finger in it and put it on, and then use my sponge. Okay, but y'all get it. I'm not trying to like make this look flawless. I'm gonna say that a million times because I'm gonna literally have people be like, that one didn't look very good. You need to completely like spend 10 hours doing this and like Instagram makeup the heck out of that. But no, listen, it's clean, and if you're breakout prone, it's really good. Okay, so it's oil free, which I love. I really need to get back into using that one because I really like it. This feels really soft. Hopefully this isn't like one of those like lip swatch videos that I've tried to do in the past where my lips are like literally falling off at the end of the video because I've wiped off so many products. No, these feel pretty good. Okay, the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Now, this one is amazing. This is very thin, okay? Now, I like that. This probably has the same amount of coverage as the Chantecaille. It's very thin. It doesn't feel like super heavy. I'm wearing the shade number 3. Again, my skin is really red if I ever touch it or rub it, so when you see this, it's not like I'm putting it on like calm skin. It probably looks a little lighter because I'm putting it on like red, like, why the hell are you wiping me off so many times, like angry skin. Now this one, what I was really gonna say, which is kind of funny, is I was literally gonna say this one has a silkier finish, Luminous Silk. This one you have to really kind of thin out. I would say, sure, you can build up a lot of foundations. This one I wouldn't build it up a whole lot because it doesn't set as well as the other ones. Some foundations that are very buildable, they work because they don't stay super sticky or super goopy when you apply them. This one's very thin, but when I feel it, it does feel a little silky. It doesn't feel as set as the other ones, but I like it because it looks like real skin, you know what I mean? It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, see, like I missed that little spot. You could totally tell. So the coverage is really good. Especially this like glittery eyeshadow. This looks nuts. I just did my Tutti Frutti video. My Tutti Frutti video. So check that out. This, I don't know why I'm not wearing as often as I totally should. The coverage on this one's amazing. If you see my skin looks a little flat, you know, like I said, it's because, you know, I haven't added all the other stuff. So don't let that kind of like fool you. I would definitely take a little bit of a setting powder and just, you know, just dust it in the areas where you need it. It looks like real skin. It's not luminous in the way of you think like, oh, it's shiny or it's sparkly or it's got anything to it. This is definitely like my special occasion foundation, but this one really looks good on your skin. I wouldn't say like put this on in the morning like for an all day travel day or, oh, I'm really gonna, I would say this would be like a special event, like out to dinner, like just, it's not, I think it'd look great all day, but I think there's other things that would hold up a little better. But this is like really beautiful for like dinner, like something so pretty, like it photographs really well. Okay, this is just bizarre. Okay, so 3 down. My favorite ones, listen y'all, I haven't even showed y'all, okay. The Born This Way by Too Faced. This is something I need to wear more often. I don't want to say recently, well, it was fairly recently, they expanded their color line, which I love because I had kind of a tough time finding mine. Were they too pink or too yellow? I think they were very like mustardy yellow. I always had a really hard time. This is the Pearl shade. It's in a nice little like glass jar with a pump. It's not as thin as the Armani Luminous Silk, but this one I would say is pretty similar to that one. I want to say the Luminous Silk I feel looks a little better, like because I am like super close up in this mirror. I feel like it doesn't accentuate all, you know, like anything little or like any like textures or anything. The Luminous Silk like looks really good. This one has great coverage. Born This Way and the Luminous Silk are very similar. If I had to choose though, I would still go for the Luminous Silk. The Born This Way feels slightly a little, it doesn't feel thicker like when you apply it, but on my skin, it feels just a little more makeup-y. I love that it's oil-free, medium to full buildable coverage. There's not a whole heck of a lot to say about it because it's not super shiny, it's not super matte, it's just, which I love, it's good. It's just a good foundation that looks like your skin. It says it's supposed to be like undetectable. I feel like up close, it looks beautiful, but the Armani Luminous Silk I still feel is a little better. I still feel like it's gotta be. Now like I said, I'm not ranking, these aren't like the best to worst yet. In my opinion, I'm gonna do that at the end, I'm gonna rank them. These are kind of like groupings, right? So we did more kind of like, you know, glowy to luminous to natural coverage. We're kind of like going all the way to like more matte and stuff like that. But I'm very picky. Like I just like one that looks like skin. This is such a great one. It's the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. And this one has that perfect like skin, I don't want to say matte, but like glow matte glowy? No. I feel like all of them have kind of like perfected that. You know what I mean? Foundations used to just be like really glowy or they were really matte. And I feel like now foundations have got so much better. Okay, this one has really full coverage to me. You can see how it's like covering up the redness. I mean, all of these, you're probably looking at this thinking like how, I'm not trying to make this look super different. I just wanted to kind of do it as I went so I could talk about it, because I think sometimes it's easier for me to talk about something if I'm applying it, I'm kind of seeing it. This one has a beautiful, natural, glowy finish, but yet it's very full coverage and very set. If you have skin, it's a little oilier, maybe you have like skin that's a little problematic that you need to cover, this is gonna be your best friend because the coverage is amazing and it sets, okay? Like I did that, and the other ones I would feel and it would be a little, this one is like totally like clean feeling. So like, you don't need any setting powder, and sometimes I feel like when you have oily skin or something, the more products you pile on top, honestly, the worse it can get. This one is beautiful and it has this bit of a glow to it. Very, very cool. Very full coverage, very set, but kind of like a beautiful, like glowy skin, like a matte glowy finish, which is so weird to say because it's not shiny, it's just glowy but set. Very ultra long wearing foundation, go figure. So very long wearing, that one. The next one is the Beauty Blender Bounce, and I am using shade 1.4. The winning part about it is the finish. It's kind of like this glowy, natural finish. It's very thin. But you know what's weird? I feel like so many of these foundations have kind of perfected that. Like when I tried this, I was like, wow, this is really great. And like I'm looking at this and I see why, I see the difference, but all of these kind of have that more like natural glowy finish. You know, like some foundations can look cakey. This one is like just on that, my cheek, it's just flawless. Like there's no hanging on to like any little like, you know, fuzz on your skin or like, you know, your little hairs that are naturally on your skin or any of that. It doesn't hang on to any of that. I could definitely put more on my chin, but the finish of this one, the feel is really good. It feels very clean, it's very thin, and you don't need a whole lot of it. So I really do like that one. My best sources are you guys, and when you guys were commenting on that video, I was like, yes, like I was like, thank you for coming, because I don't have a darker skin tone. Like I have not experienced trying to match myself. I can't, just like y'all can't experience matching yourself in a lighter skin tone. It is what it is. And so I was so happy that so many of you guys commented and you were helping me understand, you were helping each other understand. My thing is that I love this foundation so much that it would be tragic if they did not come out with more shades so that more people could try it, because in the darker range, which a lot of you guys alerted me to, because I have no idea of knowing that other than what I go by my personal experiences, what I had seen about the product. I wasn't going by other people's like opinions. I was really just going by what I saw. You guys are my source as well. When you guys are coming to me that have darker skin tones and you're telling me, you know, I can't find my shade because there's too many like yellow tones or there's too many this or that. There needs to be different tones for me too in the darker range. Like one dark shade isn't just gonna hit everybody with a dark shade. Like it needs to have the right tones, which I've experienced with fair skin. A lot of foundations are just yellow or they're, and I'm like, I can't do that. It looks like mustard on my skin. You know what I mean? So I get that. And I think it's a shame if they don't come out with more shades, because it is amazing. Definitely the best foundation I have that actually blends into my skin the best. It sets, it feels really good, you guys. So if you can find your shade, find it, snatch it up. It feels really clean. If you cannot find your shade in that one, give this one a shot. The Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation is amazing. So yeah, those are very, very similar, but gosh, the Beauty Blender one just does not hang on any imperfections and just, it's really good. But the Laura Mercier one honestly is very similar. They both have that set feeling. So those two, very, very similar. If you just don't want to do the Beauty Blender one, you can't find your shade. All right, you guys, I'm saving these two for last. Should I? I'm definitely gonna save the BB one for last. I feel like that's a totally different thing, but it's honestly not. It's the most foundation-y BB cream I've ever tried, and if you haven't tried it, you need to try it. But let's talk about this. This is my most matte one that I have. If you guys have watched me for years, you have seen that Matte Velvet Plus by Makeup Forever was my jam. That was my favorite. It was like my go-to foundation always. I would always go back to it. It was in a little tube and I would use it with a dampened beauty blender. I would mix these two shades, loved it. They have replaced it with the new Matte Velvet Skin, a 24-hour full coverage foundation. So this is the shade Y235. And so if you are doing like a wedding, right, you need your foundation to look good. It's not gonna be like the Armani Luminous Silk, like, you know, maybe it'll last, but you're gonna have to touch it up a lot. I don't even say that because the Luminous Silk is good, but sometimes I feel like you do want something that is full coverage, that is like heavier duty. This is it. This one looks a lot like the other one. I feel like it wears a lot like the other one. I just feel like maybe they took the fragrance out. You know what I mean? Look at the coverage. I mean, insane. Like I have that little mark from where I had broken out a while back. I mean, it just covers it like no problem. It is very much like the Beauty Blender foundation in that it doesn't hang on to those imperfections. The coverage is absolutely insane, okay? Photographs beautifully. It wears beautifully. If you've got oily skin that's problematic, that you need a ton of coverage, go get you some of this. Like, this is so good. I'm happy with this packaging. I love just how simple it is. It's hygienic. You can get every little bit of it out. The best quality full coverage foundation I've ever used, even better than I'd say the original. I think that it is super important and absolutely essential with this foundation. And like I always said with the old version, you have to use a beauty blender with it, a dampened beauty blender. It's gonna make it go on better. It's gonna keep it from looking like a heavy, cakey mask. Now, if that's too heavy for you, but you like a matte finish, see, I'm hitting all your bases, girl. The Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation infused with peach and sweet fig cream, oil-free, 14-hour wear, oil-controlling, photo-friendly. I have the shade Snow in this. I find that even though the shades are called the same thing in the Do You and in the Peach Perfect, the Snow in that one is too light. I wear the Almond in that one. But then I wear the Snow in this one. It's okay, so let me just tell you, this one is a little more whipped, and everything that I described is pretty much what this is gonna do, okay? So it is gonna give you like a matte coverage, like a matte feel, but it's infused with all of those like skin-friendly things, so it doesn't feel so heavy, so cakey. It's the best smelling foundation that I own. It smells like peaches. It's really, really nice. But what I love about this one is that it is very comfortable. If you like a matte foundation, going back to maybe even more mature skin options, this would be it because it gives you a little bit of comfort, you know what I mean? The Makeup for Everyone is a foundation. It is on there. It's like doing the job, you know? It's more like professional feeling. This one feels a little more comfortable. It's gonna nourish your skin a little more, especially if you like more of a daily matte foundation. I don't know why I did that. More daily matte foundation. This one is not one I would wear like on the daily, maybe just like special events. But if you like a more matte look every day, this would be a good option because it does have all of those like skin-friendly ingredients. It makes your skin feel comfortable. Oh, it already feels like velvet. It does. It feels kind of like, it has like a velvety matte finish. And it's oil-free. I always love that. It says it's oil controlling. So that might be a great option if you're a little more oily and you're looking for like an everyday matte foundation. This is a really good one. And it does wear really well. I used to wear that one a lot and I need to bust it back out. But some of these, it just reminds me how good they are that I need to use them more often. So this is a great everyday matte option. If you do want to wear like a matte foundation every day, this one's good and it'll be like kind to your skin. I think it did just cross a line though. I think my skin is just at the point where now it's like, all right, actually get this train moving. The Clinique Acne Solutions. No, I know, I'm trying. Okay, the salicylic acid acne treatment. This is the one that I grab a lot of times. I hate to even put it on my skin right now, but whatever, I'm going to. I use the shade Fresh Alabaster. And this is kind of just like a go-to one for me that feels honestly like skincare. I feel like I can put it on, I don't need to worry about it. I feel like it'll keep my skin from breaking out. And when I think of a foundation that has salicylic acid in it, I usually think, ugh, drying, probably not gonna be like the best, prettiest foundation. This one is a pretty, pretty foundation. It has a pretty glow to it. And when I say that, I just mean that it doesn't dry so matte or it doesn't set so matte. It sets like kind of pretty and slightly, I won't say shiny, but just kind of luminous, although it feels already, it's like set. So this one is just an easy one. I can apply it like super fast. I don't have to think about it. It always works and it lasts a very long time. It's very, very long wearing. If I don't know what I'm gonna do, that's why I just go back to that one a lot. It just always does the trick. It looks beautiful. It's not too glowy, it's not too matte. You know what it is? It just looks like real skin, and it's just basic. I mentioned this, the Clinique BB Acne Solutions. These are two different things. So this one that says Clinique Acne Solutions Liquid Makeup is an actual foundation, and it has salicylic acid acne treatment in it. This one, the Clinique Acne Solutions BB Cream, does not have salicylic acid in it. It has SPF 40 in it. Because you can't really put both of those products in a foundation. One will kind of like break down the other. So this one has the SPF 40, this one has the salicylic acid. But what makes this Acne Solutions, even though it doesn't have the acne medication in it, which I kind of like a lot of the time, especially like it's SPF 40, especially like if you're gonna be going out or something, I will wear this. Like, you know, if you're gonna be, maybe like you're at the beach, you're gonna be like out and not at the beach swimming or anything. I just wouldn't wear makeup at all, but I'm saying like, really you're just be out doing things or whatever. You just know you're gonna be out a lot. This is what I wear. It just is very thin, and it has ingredients in it that are good for acne prone skin. It's not gonna break you out. It's not a heavy feeling BB cream. You guys might think, oh, well, I'm breakout prone. I can't use these like really thick feeling like gross like BB creams, you know what I mean? This is the one that you want. I've purchased so many of these, and I am in the shade Light. This runs a little dark. My friend has like a very like medium skin tone, and she was like, there's no way that the light medium's gonna work, and it worked for her. So you see it's watery, like major watery. It's just so weird to say, but it smells like licorice, which I know, I don't even know. This is the most bizarre stuff. Now I like to apply it with my fingertips like this. Sometimes I'll use my beauty blender, but I feel like I just get the best result with my fingertips with this one. It sinks in like none other. I've never used anything like it. Like, there are so many products nowadays that are just the same, and we've used so many things, like brands make versions of the same thing, of the same thing, of the same thing, of the same thing. Nothing I've ever tried is like this. This has coverage that rivals some of the full coverage foundations that I showed you guys. And it is thin, and it is beautiful. It's not drying. For a while, this was like my go-to every day. And then I went to the, you know, the Clinique foundation, the actual foundation version. But oh my gosh, you guys, it's so good. It's glowy, but it's actually set. So, I don't care if you're acne prone, I don't care what, like, don't let it scare you that it says Acne Solutions. I know I've said that so many times with that one. Try it, you will love it. But let me rank it. So it's really difficult to say like 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this. So my number 1 is gonna have to be my Clinique Acne Solutions Liquid Makeup, and I think I would maybe tie these together. This is such a different product, and maybe I don't even need to include this because it's a BB cream. It's something so different, but this is definitely at the top right along with that. Those are just like my go-tos, right? I mean, but I think the best all around that has it all, full coverage, long wearing, comfortable, doesn't look super makeup-y, sets really well, is this, the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation. This is so good, you guys. Definitely give this a try. I think you will love it. Next ones, and I hate to group these together, but I feel like it's like, okay, this one is a different look. It's like if you want a dewier look, this is more like a comforting, like matte look. And I'm not grouping them together because they're Too Faced. I'm grouping them together because they're just good everyday foundations depending on the look you want. More matte, this one isn't like scary, like, you know, makeup artist, like going on stage matte. And this one isn't like crazy, you know, unwearable dewy. This one is actually a wearable dewy. So wearable matte, a wearable dewy foundation, Too Faced Do You, and the Too Faced Peach Perfect. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. Like I said, this is like my fancy foundation, right? It's a little fancy when I wear this. It just looks beautiful. It's thin. It doesn't feel like you're wearing makeup, but your skin just looks beautiful and luminous and kind of like effortless. I wouldn't wear this and depend on it to last all day at a wedding or last all day if you're like, you know, going somewhere pretty intense. But I don't want to discredit it either for you guys to think that it's not long wearing and it's not a good foundation because I say those things. It's just there are different types of foundations. This one wears beautifully. I'd wear this all day shopping. I'd look in the mirror, I'd love it. But I'm just saying like, but there's just a time and a place, you know what I mean? The coverage isn't insane. It's just a beautiful like skin-like foundation. And if you've tried it, I think maybe you know what I'm talking about. It's good. Next would have to be the Matte Velvet Skin, the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, because this is kind of like the little baby of the Matte Velvet Plus, which was my love for many years. You guys saw, this stuff is no joke. I don't think I would ever be without one of these because it's nice to know if you had something like really intense to go to, you could wear this. This would be great for makeup artists. It's just a beautiful foundation, great for photography, lasts all day. The Beauty Blender Bounce, I love this. I raved about the finish. I think that the finish is very similar to the Laura Mercier. Now this one is at the bottom, not because it's bad, but just because it's one that I just don't reach for a lot. It's a basic, great foundation, and I don't think you'd be disappointed with it. But you know, it's kind of hard. Like these are all 10 good ones. Oh my gosh, I left this guy out. Stop. All right, Shanika, I'm so sorry. He was like little and he was just in the back. This is unlike anything I've ever used. It's a gel, it's light, it's fresh, it's oil free, but you get decent coverage with it and it's very glowy and pretty. So I would put that at the top too for maybe, let me just put all this at the top. No, it's one that I don't wear often. So maybe I would put that more toward the back, but still, all of these 10 out of all the foundations that exist are the 10 that I like, that I have. And of course, like I do have some more that like I said, I've gotten from certain brands or whatever that I just, you know, haven't really bonded with or just don't love. But these would be the ones that I would definitely recommend. And don't be fooled that this little guy is in the back because love him. And I'm probably gonna start wearing this one a little more. I have it in my makeup drawer because I always want to like make it a point to wear it. Maybe I would just put it right up there at the front, okay? So great little ranking thing that I had there. And a lot of dewy foundations are tough because if they're in a jar like that, they're just creamy and you think, oh my gosh, it's gonna break me out. This one is light, it's fresh, it's dewy. This is a great one, it's oil-free, so don't count that little guy out. And then I would definitely put this one behind that because not that it's bad, but I just don't wear it a lot. And I think that I have other ones that I like more, but it's a good foundation. So that is it, you guys. I'm gonna go wash my face for like a 17th time and like, no, I'm kidding. I'll probably just leave this on because this one feels really good. I just felt like that was the most in-depth way to talk about these rather than just showing. I think that seeing it on my face and like being able to talk to things that like I was kind of like seeing it doing and not just like telling you guys what I know about it, but kind of applying it, feeling it. I hope that that gave you guys a little more insight into some of these if you were curious, and definitely I hope it helped you guys see what I'm loving right now because I truly do love all of these. But I do feel like foundation is important. I think that it's worth the splurge if you find a good one because like I said, I think that it's literally the base for like everything that you apply. If you get it wrong, it's kind of hard to make the rest of it look right, and if you get a good one, it can really just make it look like you know what you're doing. So grab you a beauty blender. I know I say this all the time, dampen it. You will not be sorry with that. I love that so much. Can't say enough good things about the beauty blender. All of these would be perfect with that. But I have so many fun things coming up. I have a lot of like fall clothes and all kinds of fun things. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped. And I hope, honestly, it helped you seeing like my shades in some different ones, especially since I know a lot of you guys shop online based on my recommendations or based on things that you see. And I think sometimes it does help to see like what shades someone is in all of these different brands. So I hope that that helped you guys out. Love y'all so much. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye, you guys.